Are you feeling stuck, uninspired, or simply in need of a push to get things done? Daily Motivation Boost, your path to success, is your daily dose of encouragement designed to ignite your passion, sharpen your focus, and fuel your journey toward success. In a world full of distractions and self-doubt, staying motivated can be tough, but it doesn't have to be. This video delivers practical insights, powerful affirmations, and proven mindset shifts that help you overcome obstacles and keep moving forward. Whether you're chasing a dream, building a habit, or just getting through the day, this is the spark you need to stay on track and thrive. Watch now and take the next step on your path to greatness. Success rarely happens overnight. It's not a result of a single burst of energy or one moment of brilliance. It's the outcome of consistent, focused effort over time. That's where daily motivation plays a crucial role. When you receive a consistent dose of encouragement, inspiration, or wisdom every day, it helps you build a rhythm of forward, moving energy that gathers strength with each step. This is called momentum, and it's one of the most powerful forces on the journey to success. Momentum is like pushing a heavy wheel. At first, it takes effort to get it moving. You may feel resistance, especially when starting something new or aiming to break a bad habit. But once the wheel starts turning even slightly, each additional push becomes easier. And if you keep pushing every day, it eventually starts rolling on its own. That's the power of consistency. Daily motivation acts as that push. It reminds you of your purpose when you feel lost. It lifts you up when you feel down, and it recenters your mind when distractions try to pull you off course. Whether it's a quote, a short video, or a moment of reflection, these small inputs compound over time to create a significant impact. The more regularly you feed your mind with positivity and direction, the more your actions align with your long-term goals. Consistency also helps train your brain. Neuroscience shows that habits are formed through repetition. When you repeatedly expose yourself to motivational content, your brain begins to rewire its thought patterns. You start to think more optimistically, respond more calmly to challenges, and become more solution-focused. In other words, daily motivation isn't just a mood booster, it's a brain trainer. Moreover, consistency builds trust with yourself. Every time you commit to doing something daily and follow through, even if it's just listening to a 2-minute motivational message, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. That self-trust fuels confidence, which is essential for making bold decisions and persevering through hard times. Of course, there will be days when you don't feel like showing up, when motivation is low and excuses feel tempting. But that's exactly when consistency matters most. Even on off days, a small action, a motivational reminder, keeps the momentum alive. It prevents backsliding and reminds you that progress, no matter how slow, is still progress. In summary, consistency isn't about perfection. It's about showing up every day in some way with intention and effort. Daily motivation provides the fuel for that daily action, and over time, those small sparks create a fire that drives you forward. The longer you stay consistent, the stronger your momentum becomes, and the closer you get to your goals. Your mindset shapes the way you perceive the world, respond to challenges, and pursue your goals. In many ways, it's the foundation on which every success story is built. Without the right mindset, even the best strategies, tools, or opportunities can fall flat. That's why cultivating a powerful, growth-oriented mindset through daily motivation is essential for anyone seeking long-term success. A positive mindset doesn't mean you ignore obstacles or pretend problems don't exist. It means you approach life with the belief that challenges can be overcome, skills can be developed, and growth is always possible. This is often called a growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. People with a growth mindset don't view failure as the end, they see it as a stepping stone, a lesson that brings them one step closer to their goals. Daily motivational content reinforces this way of thinking. By hearing stories of perseverance, watching uplifting messages, or reading quotes that spark confidence, you gradually begin to rewire how you interpret situations. Instead of saying, "I can't," you begin asking, "How can I?" That single shift in thinking can transform your actions, decisions, and ultimately your results. Moreover, mindset influences resilience, your ability to keep going when things get tough. Life throws curveballs. Plans fail. People disappoint you. But with the right mindset, you won't crumble under pressure. Instead, you'll adapt, reassess, and continue moving forward. Motivation delivered daily helps you maintain that resilient outlook, especially when your environment or circumstances try to wear you down. Another crucial aspect of mindset is self-belief. Many people fail not because they lack talent or resources, but because they don't believe they're capable. Daily motivation chips away at self-doubt. When you hear consistent reminders that others have overcome worse, achieved more with less, and turned failure into fuel, you begin to internalize that you can too. It's also worth noting that your mindset affects your habits. If you believe you're capable of changing and improving, you're more likely to try new things, stick with routines, and invest in personal growth. Daily motivation acts as a gentle nudge to stay on course, to keep sharpening your mind and believing in the process. In short, success begins in your mind. Daily motivation nurtures the mental habits that allow success to flourish: belief in yourself, a hunger to grow, the courage to fail, and the determination to rise again. When your mindset is aligned with your goals, no obstacle is insurmountable, and every day becomes a new opportunity to move forward. Procrastination and self-doubt are two of the biggest roadblocks on the path to success. They hold you back from taking action, paralyze your decision-making, and drain your confidence, but here's the truth: they aren't permanent traits. They're habits of the mind, and with the right approach, they can be broken. One of the most effective ways to do that is through consistent daily motivation. Procrastination often stems from a fear of failure, overwhelm, or perfectionism. You might delay a task not because you're lazy, but because deep down you're afraid you won't do it perfectly, or worse, that you'll fail altogether. This is where motivation steps in as a mental reset. A short, uplifting video or message can shift your focus from the fear of outcome to the power of starting. It reminds you that progress matters more than perfection, and that small actions compound over time. Daily motivational boosts also provide mental clarity. When your mind is clouded with doubt, even the simplest tasks feel impossible. But hearing words that inspire courage or tell the story of someone who overcame adversity can help clear that fog. It reinforces the idea that you're not alone in your struggle and that your hesitation doesn't define you. Many highly successful people once dealt with the same doubts, but they moved forward anyway. That's what daily motivation teaches. Take the step, even if it's a small one. Self-doubt can also come from comparing yourself to others or focusing too much on your weaknesses. But daily motivation shifts your perspective back to your strengths. It encourages you to measure progress based on your journey, not someone else's highlight reel. The more often you're exposed to empowering content, the more you internalize belief in your potential, and the less space there is for self-criticism. Another key benefit is that motivation promotes positive action triggers. For example, watching or listening to something motivational first thing in the morning can kickstart your brain into do mode. It becomes a ritual that conditions your mind to act rather than hesitate. Over time, this builds new neural pathways that associate certain moments like waking up or feeling stuck with movement, not delay. Lastly, motivational content provides language that replaces your inner critic. Instead of "I'm not good enough," you begin to hear and say things like "I have everything I need to succeed," or "I grow stronger with every challenge." These statements, repeated over time, replace doubt with belief, In short, daily motivation is not just a feel-good activity, it's a practical, powerful tool for breaking the cycles of procrastination and self-doubt. It helps you develop the mindset and momentum needed to take action, believe in your abilities, and build confidence with every step. Inspiration is more than just a fleeting feeling, it's the spark that transforms thoughts into action. While motivation gives you the emotional boost, inspiration connects you to something deeper, purpose. And when you're inspired daily, you're far more likely to act on your ideas rather than just think about them. That's why building a habit of daily motivation isn't just about feeling good, it's about consistently turning inspiration into progress. We all have goals, dreams, or even simple to-do lists we want to complete. But too often, we wait for the perfect moment or the right mood to get started. The problem is that moment rarely comes on its own. This is where daily inspiration becomes essential. By surrounding yourself with content that uplifts, challenges, and encourages you, you proactively create an environment that prompts action, not just intention. Think of inspiration like lighting a match. When it strikes, it generates immediate energy. But if that energy isn't used to ignite something else like taking a step, making a call, starting a task, it burns out quickly. Daily motivational content keeps those matches striking again and again, giving you fresh bursts of energy and focus to fuel consistent action. There's also a psychological advantage. When you're inspired, you're more likely to take courageous action. Inspiration helps silence the voice that says, "What if I fail?" and replaces it with, "What if this works?" It creates an emotional bridge between your current state and your desired outcome, helping you close the gap through small, confident steps. Inspiration also simplifies complex decisions. When you're feeling stuck or unsure about your next move, a single story or message can provide clarity. It reminds you of your values, your vision, and your reasons for starting. And when you're clear on your why, the how becomes easier to figure out. Another important benefit is that inspiration generates momentum. Just as a single push gets the ball rolling, inspired action often leads to more action. You make a small move, you feel progress, and that progress becomes addictive. You begin to crave the feeling of growth, even if it comes from tiny daily wins. Even on days when you feel unmotivated or tired, inspiration can be the difference between doing nothing and doing something. And something is always better than nothing because each small action brings you closer to your goals and builds the habit of discipline. In short, daily motivation doesn't just make you feel inspired, it turns that feeling into fuel. It helps you take meaningful steps, however small, and reminds you that real progress happens one inspired action at a time. In today's fast-paced world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, constant notifications, daily stress, all of it can pull your attention away from what truly matters. That's why developing clear daily focus on your goals is essential for success. And one of the best tools to sharpen that focus is daily motivation. It serves as a consistent reminder of what you're aiming for, why it's important, and what actions you need to take. When you start each day with a clear message or moment of motivation, you realign your mindset with your purpose. It's like cleaning a foggy window. You remove mental clutter and see your goals more clearly. You begin the day not in reaction mode, but in intention mode. That alone puts you ahead of the majority of people who are drifting through life without direction. Daily motivation also helps you prioritize. When you're reminded of your goals daily, you naturally begin to filter out what doesn't serve them. You say no to distractions more confidently. You manage your time more intentionally. You choose tasks based on impact, not just urgency. That clarity is what separates people who are busy from those who are productive. Another powerful benefit is that daily motivation reinforces emotional connection to your goals. Often, we set goals but lose interest because they become abstract or feel too far away. Motivational content brings those goals back into emotional focus. It reconnects you to the feeling of achievement, the lifestyle you desire, or the person you want to become. And when you're emotionally engaged, you're far more likely to stay consistent and committed. Motivation also provides mental resilience. Every goal will encounter roadblocks, setbacks, slow progress, or moments of doubt. If you're not regularly feeding your mind with purpose-driven thoughts, it's easy to lose your way. But when motivation is part of your daily life, you're more likely to push through those difficult moments with clarity instead of confusion. You remember why you're doing this in the first place. Furthermore, clear focus reduces burnout. Without direction, we often waste energy on things that don't matter, leading to exhaustion and frustration. But when your mind is locked on a goal and you're reminded of it every day, you conserve that energy for what counts. You make smarter decisions, you protect your peace, and you maintain momentum without draining yourself. In essence, daily motivation acts like a compass. It doesn't do the walking for you, but it makes sure you're always pointed in the right direction. And when you have that clarity day after day, reaching your goals becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Success is not built on bursts of energy, it's built on sustained effort. While motivation may give you a quick spark, it's discipline that keeps the fire burning. And when combined with daily motivation, discipline becomes easier to maintain, even during difficult or uninspired times. That's why one of the greatest long-term benefits of daily motivation is that it fuels discipline and drive over time. Discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. But feelings are powerful, and if left unchecked, they can derail your consistency. That's where daily motivation plays a key role. It acts as a daily reminder of your goals, helping you reset your mindset and recommit to your path, regardless of your mood or circumstances. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't do it only when you're excited about dental health, you do it every day because it's a habit. The same applies to motivation. When you consume motivational content daily, you normalize discipline. It becomes part of your routine, not a reaction to an emotional high. Moreover, daily motivation helps you stay connected to your why. It's easy to stay disciplined for a few days or weeks, but the real challenge is keeping that energy alive for months or years. Life gets hard, progress slows, temptations grow. But when you're reminded every day of the vision you're working toward, whether it's building a business, changing your lifestyle, or mastering a skill, you're far less likely to quit. Motivation also helps you rebound faster. Discipline doesn't mean never falling off track. It means getting back on quickly when you do. Daily motivational content gives you the mental tools to reset, refocus, and re-engage without losing momentum. It shifts your inner dialogue from "I messed up" to "I'm getting back on track." It also reinforces consistency, which is the backbone of all achievement. A little bit of effort applied every day produces far greater results than random bursts of intense activity. Daily motivation encourages you to take small steps, consistently steps that build habits, skills, and self-belief over time. Lastly, this regular practice builds internal drive. The more you feed your mind with empowering messages, the more your brain adopts a success-oriented identity. You stop relying on external rewards and start finding satisfaction in showing up, doing the work, and improving day by day. That internal drive is what keeps you going even when the results aren't immediate. In short, if motivation lights the spark, daily discipline keeps the flame alive. And when daily motivation becomes part of your routine, it strengthens your drive, sharpens your focus, and turns your dreams into daily action until success is no longer a question of if, but when.